Welcome home, neighbors.
Welcome home, neighbors.
Hello, neighbors.
We're listening from
Arizona,
Florida,
Maryland,
New York,
New Jersey,
Indianapolis,
California,
Utah,
Michigan.
Iowa,
Massachusetts,
Georgia,
Canada,
Our home resort is
Animal Kingdom,
Polynesia,
Bay Lake Tower,
Old Key West,
Riviera,
Boardwalk,
Alani Resort,
Boulder Ridge,
Copper Creek,
Grand Floridian,
Saratoga Springs,
Beach Club.
and Wilderness Lodge.
And you're listening to
and you're listening
You're
You're
listening
listening
to my
to my
Welcome home, neighbors, to episode 109 of the Community Hall Live. My name is Chad, and I am your host tonight for the Community Hall Live podcast. And I have got with me Mary Ann tonight as well. But before we get into today's show, I want to do a huge shout out of thanks to our sponsors, DVC Resale Market. They are the world's leader in DVC resales. Every single one of their guides is a former Disney Direct guide. I've been talking with some members this week, and I like to parrot back the great things that I hear from people that are part of our community. And I keep hearing back consistently about how awesome their website is. I tell everybody you need to start your DVC search there, and you are likely to end it there because they have about 700 active listings right now. If you are looking to get into the market, they are the world's leader. If you're looking to sell the contract, they've got more potential buyers that are hitting their website every single day. It is the easiest to use website to search by use year, by resort, by point size, by point availability, even for small contracts, loaded contracts, you name it. They make it easy for you to find what you're looking for. And because they are the world's leader, they generally have the inventory in stock. So dvcresalemarket.com, let them know you heard about them here on the My DVC Points platform. So let's welcome back to the show our co-host and I guess really host. So welcome, Mary Ann.
Well, thanks, Chad. It's good to be with you tonight.
Yes, it is. And we have a fun show tonight. We're kind of loose on our topic. We knew we wanted to do something about resorts and resorts for the holidays. And so I spent the impossible task of about 4 hours today going and shooting photos of all the resort here in Walt Disney World, like every single lobby, every single thing of interest that's there. And we kind of gathered out a couple of photos and put them together in here. We'll be working them in and throughout the show tonight. But we've got some different topics on holiday decorations and what resort you guys think are the best for the holidays and why. Like what type of holiday? Marianne, you had some thoughts there on some like various types we could do.
Well, I would like to, I think it's more than just the decorations, right, everybody? We all know that the holidays, once you actually hit holiday week, is the busiest week at Walt Disney World. We all know that. And so if it's the very busiest week at Walt Disney World, what does your trip look like as a DVC member? Because we can come again next year, or we can come again in 6 months or 6 weeks when it's not as cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, but we want that experience of being at Walt Disney World on Christmas morning just once, right? I think all of us kind of want to wake up in the magic just once. So
I can't get my wife to like agree to anything but home for the holidays. Like,
I
like,
hear her because my children feel the same way after they woke up in Cancun once on a cruise ship. So they have declared that from now on, but on the 26th, they're more than happy to get on an airplane and go anywhere.
Yeah, that's what she was saying, which is why January 28th this year, they're all coming back here to the Florida house. And I'll be home for Christmas with them. And then we're all going to come down here and do vacation here.
Sure.
And we'll probably do some resort tours and come back in and check out some of the cookie strolls and all of that kind of stuff. But if you were to book a resort over the holiday, what is it that you guys think are some of the best resorts?
And why do you think that's the best resort to stay?
Yeah. So let's do this. Why don't we just start to go through some of our resorts, and we'll go through some of the photos that I took today. And Marianne and I'll talk through them, and we'll try to have Gina look for some comments as we do this.
Yes, please share all of your wisdom. I would guess that my one holiday stay, some of you out there have been there a lot more during the holidays than my one holiday stay. So I would love to hear more feedback from everybody.
Yeah, and this first resort just happens to be top on the list, and we're looking at Wilderness Lodge.
Oh,
So the Boulder Ridge tree is on the side with the lobby and the garland, and you've got these huge killer trees. The one on the right is the main Copper Creek Wilderness Lodge building, and it is just absolutely stunning because the nature of the resort is all of that woodsy wilderness type feel, and then you spruce it up with some Christmas tree that could be like a spruce tree with some lights and some decor, and it just gets to be an epic status.
oh, it's just a beautiful, beautiful resort. There's something, even if there were no decorations, I think that Wilderness Lodge, both the Wilderness
Mhm.
Lodge lobbies would feel like Christmas. I think they feel like Christmas all the time. It
And
has that cabiny Christmas feel to
you've
it.
also got a fireplace in there that runs year round. And
Yeah.
keep in mind, it was 65 degrees today while
Oh,
we
yeah.
were out there snapping photos this afternoon. So right now on my watch, it says it's 51 here in Florida. So a fireplace, not a bad thing.
Yeah. No.
You might do that. And then on the, I guess I'm going to say other extreme of this, we're going to start seeing some, yeah, I think kind of meh places like over here at the Contemporary.
Yeah.
And they did do a,
They're
con-
trying.
they're trying. I'll give
They're
them some
trying.
points.
I think it's getting better than it used to be. I mean,
Yeah,
because they used to not even have the cute little gingerbready type of look. So
yeah. I mean, you've got the big tree out front, and then everything else inside is like really small trees and some garland. But they're trying with the gingerbread deal, and it looks like they're trying to keep it somewhat contemporary as well.
I kind of like the Mary Blairish "It's a Small World" look to it. Actually, I think that's kind of cute.
Yeah, yeah, that kind of works. And then we've got some classic Mickeys in there. And Mark says that I've done Wilderness Lodge 3 times during the holidays, but I would love to try Animal Kingdom. And I think that's a great idea. So let's just go there if I can come back in and find it. And I will start with the lesser of the two. Where is my Kadani? And I don't see that I uploaded it. So we'll go to the greater of the two then. Over here
Yes.
at Jumbo House. And that tree is every bit as epic as Wilderness Lodge. And you really need to zoom in on the tree and take a look at the decorations because they're all Animal Kingdom Lodge type themed. And our friends over at Jumbo was not going to get left out of the gingerbread competition. So they made a zebra and a giraffe this year. And those are pretty epic as well.
Yeah, they're really cute.
And the other thing I can tell you is they will also make these. Let me see if I can get this in focus. These are called ginger raff cookies that I picked up there today. And
That's
so,
adorable.
yeah, you get a ginger cookie and a Christmas thing. And I haven't tried it yet, but I'm seriously looking forward to it as well. And I'm really trying to do that. And then Restina says, 10 years ago, we stayed at Boulder Ridge after Thanksgiving, and it was just breathtaking. Went to the Christmas party, such great memories. We love ourselves some Boulder Ridge there in Wilderness
Yeah.
Lodge.
Well, and the other thing is the feasibility of staying at Wilderness Lodge. If you're going to be going during the holidays and you're going to be in the parks a lot, Wilderness Lodge isn't a bad resort to choose either. Between the boats and to get over to the Magic Kingdom monorail area so that you have pretty easy access to the Magic Kingdom,
Mhm.
and then to jump on the monorail to get to Epcot. At least you have two resorts that are not, I mean, it's still a long, I mean, transportation during the holidays is always kind of,
Yeah.
is something, right? It's something. But
Yeah, but
any time that you can use a monorail and a boat, it's a whole lot easier than a bus.
And you've also got Wilderness Lodge, or where Hoop-de-Doo is over there at Fort
Yes.
Wilderness. How many ways can we reuse the word wilderness here, Disney? But
Yeah,
you've also got everything over there. You can
absolutely.
do the golf cart strolls over there through all of the decorations, through the RVs and all of that for things to look at if you were doing a resort only stay there as well. There's some real serious value to this monorail wilderness lodge type area.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And then Rob is saying the contemporary gingerbread display wasn't nearly as impressive. Yeah. Yeah. And he says, I just got back from a week at WDW. Seeing the direct decorations at the deluxe resorts was definitely a highlight. And yeah, I think it's a great thing to do and just take a day, especially on a down day. Maybe you don't want to fight the crowd so much in the parks. It's definitely a great idea.
Or even just after the afternoon. Just after you've spent the morning in the park and everybody else then gets out of bed because they're on vacation and they get out of bed at 11 and they show up at the parks at noon. And you go, okay, it's time for us to get out of here. And so maybe a little chilly to go swimming if it's only 51 degrees in Orlando. So head those resorts to see all those different decorations in the afternoons.
Yeah.
Have a snack.
And Linda says, without a doubt, it would be Wilderness Lodge, Boulder Ridge for sure. Even though Boulder Ridge is the home resort, the lodge holds special memories of staying with family before DVC.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't replace that. You can't replace
No.
that.
Ah.
So Ron is saying here, as great as Wilderness Lodge and Jumbo are with their huge killer trees, I'm still a bit more drawn to VGF for Christmas. The massive Christmas tree, the gingerbread house, the elegant holiday decor of the main entrance, the shopping, just pure Christmas magic.
Yeah.
And so we do have some photos of that, Ron. And right here is their gingerbread house. Now, the backside they actually sell cookies out of, because if Disney's going to go to all the expense to have these houses made, they're going to recoup some of that money somehow by selling some cookies, right? And that is absolutely amazing. You also get the grand tree there, the multiple rows of garland that are like you said, Ron, very elegantly displayed over here in the Grand Flow.
Absolutely. And the thing is that I can remember my mother's face looking at that gingerbread house at Grand Floridian when we toured all of the monorail resorts, and it was like she was transported back to being 9 years old with Katie Tracy standing there, the two of them holding hands and looking at that gingerbread house and looking at all the details. It's
impressive,
it's
right?
impressive.
Because I know what work it is to build the little kits that the kids get and bring home and try to line a thing up and ice it. And I'm like,
Yep.
oh my gosh, I couldn't imagine like engineering the whole thing from the ground up.
And they don't use hot glue. See, I use hot glue on my gingerbread houses. And at Disney, they don't even use hot glue. They use actual frosting. The entire thing is actually edible because they throw it out for the bees after the season to feed the bees.
Wow. I did not know that. Right?
It was in one of the specials on that Disney Plus thing that all about the holidays. So
okay. And then Steve is saying he's Grand Cal because of the giant tree in the lobby, their gingerbread house, and their small kiosks selling delicious holiday treats. Steve, I could not make it to Grand Cal today, but I wish I could have. So
Gina.
Rob, there is a serious queue over there at the Grand Floridian gingerbread house. It is long. I mean, it like wraps back and forth. I think I've trimmed it out of some of the photo there. I did, but you can start to see over here on the left. If you look, that's the queue. And I trimmed out like three layers of queue to the left of that photo.
Crazy.
It is. It is just like throwing Disney money, and they have to make money on this selling cookies because each one of these cookies is $16.
Yeah.
Or I mean, $6, $6. They got
Yeah.
me for about 16 today on 3 of them. So Holly says she's been to Wilderness Lodge a few times at the holidays, and it would definitely be my pick. It just feels cozy and homey.
Yeah.
And it certainly does. And Bonnie is saying, I enjoyed looking at the detail on the carousel at Beach Club. And Gina, we've got 2 Beach Club photos here. I'll let you pull. Well, I'll try this one. Nope, that's the DVC side. And let's see if she can find it. Or if I didn't, no, I should have another Beach Club here.
There it is.
There it is. Okay. And so that is the carousel over at Beach Club. And what's amazing about that carousel, it moves. They get all of that mechanical stuff and frosting, and it rotates, it spins. I'm like, holy cow, I can't get, if a wind blows with the kids' kits, it's falling over. And
It's beautiful. And I remember we stopped and looked at it last year when we were there at Christmas time, and we were staying at Boardwalk. So it was an easy pop in to look. And it was really pretty to see all of the details and how crazy it is, that it moves, and it's
Yeah.
a beautiful piece.
Definitely a beautiful piece. And then we'll go ahead and cover the other Beach Club elements as well that I really thought was nice here. Was if you look at this tree in the DVC lobby, there's actual ship steering wheels on there. I guess sterns is the right word to use, maybe. But it's all nautical themed from Beach Club. And I thought that was really cool. The solarium had a little tree in it and some garland hanging and some things along those lines. It's
decorated
nice.
Decorated their wall sconces, it looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They definitely did the wall sconces there as well. And then I guess we'll just move over to, well, Ron says the carousel is absolutely amazing. So glad we finally got to see it this past trip. And yeah, when you look at the culinary artists that pulled that off, it is, yeah, you just have to think of all the work that went into that. And yeah, it's like, shut up, take my money on these cookies. I will pay you for this for my point of admission.
Yeah.
And then equally as impressive to me is Boardwalk. And I'm normally a Beach Club over Boardwalk kind of guy. But this year they had the Boardwalk Deli and made out of a gingerbread house and just really spectacular trees and garlands and wreaths. And my photo from outside did not really turn up from the big courtyard tree, but that's pretty spectacular to watch as well. Because when you're looking at it with the naked eye, you get the tree that lights up, and then you have all of the lights of Yacht and Beach Club behind it across the lake. So that's really kind of nice as well.
One of the things I love about Boardwalk's decorations too is that the tree had the giant popcorn type of throughout it, and it's just like I was like, the garland, but it was giant popcorn garland, and I was like, that's just so perfectly right on theme for Boardwalk, because of the boardwalk and the whole and all the little decorations that they had on the interior trees are so well themed to the boardwalk. It's not like it's just a bunch of balls from Walmart. They really thought about and sourced the decorations for it.
That's what I've been noticing. Some of the resorts tend to really carry their theme forward into their tree decorations, and others looks like they just kind of went to Walmart or Macy's or some nice store and got some nice decorations and did that as well. And I know in our house we buy Christmas ornaments for every special occasion and trip. And once a year we will go into Bronner's, Michigan, and buy an ornament. It's like the world's largest Christmas store. We'll buy an ornament that's something about that particular year. So we're at the point where we barely have enough room on our tree for our own personal ornaments that have a meaning. And so trees that have a meaning really mean more to me if it can tie back in, right? So, okay. Let's take a look over at Old Key West here. Speaking of the just kind of meh trees in meh lobby, they got one little tree in the corner, a little couple of like lighted things above the check-in desk. And to me, Old Key West here didn't really do anything spectacular. However, there's more to the story because if you will slow down as you drive in, you'll start to notice that they really kind of jazzed up these pelicans here with some Santa hats and some lights, and it really does just carry forward this Old Key West laid back, quirky theme.
The kitschy. It's
Yeah,
kitschy,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah, and so I
It
think
makes me giggle to look at.
Old Key West got the award for me today for y'all did the best with the existing infrastructure, so to speak, by Christmasing it up a little bit, by putting these lights onto the pelicans and the way they decorated that with the hats. To me, and the little red ribbons on there, it was really enjoyable.
I wonder if they have something in Olivia's that we didn't see because we didn't have a reservation at Olivia's. Because it's kind of the home, you know, kind of that home feel.
I
I don't
popped in
know.
there and looked around and didn't really see much other
Hmm.
than the standard wreaths and
Yeah.
what I call the minimal Disney decor. And Aaron, who drove the car for me today while I ran in and did all of these photo takings and kind of kept it there from, getting yelled at by all of the resort people, made a comment. He's like, you really pay a premium to come to the resorts for the Christmas season,
Mhm.
whether it's an extremely high rack rate or a super high elevated point rate. And you should be getting something more for that. So they kind of should step up their game for these Christmas decorations is kind of his thought on the matter. And I was like, that's an interesting point. I'll mention that tonight. But let's see here. We've been trying to come back in and pick up comments on this. And Gina was saying, how's the boardwalk decor? I think we just covered that with that photo. Definitely upper third, upper 25% at
Yeah.
boardwalk.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
And again, talk about a resort location for feasibility of ease of transportation.
Mhm.
You can walk to 2 resorts, you can hop on a Skyliner, you can ride on a boat, all of those things. The only resort that would or the only park that would probably be a real pain would be Animal Kingdom, but all the others could get there without riding a bus. Granted, a long walk through the Magic Kingdom to get to the monorail, but it may be worth it when it's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I mean, you'd have to have hoppers and an Epcot reservation.
Yep.
They've made that cut through Epcot to get to Magic Kingdom incredibly difficult these days.
Right.
And so Jennifer
But
was saying,
it's a lovely decor is lovely. You've got a lot of ease of going to a few different parks. It might be a really good place for the holidays.
yeah, it definitely would be. Jennifer saying that she's always wanted to see the gingerbread houses. I think they're worth a trip. I would tell you to do it December 1st through the 15th ish before everything gets really, really, really crazy. And I will tell you, a couple weekends ago was busier in the parks than it was yesterday. And the good news is like yesterday was the first day of annual pass blockouts for everybody except the Incredipass. So unless you're a local who ponied up for Incredipass, you really weren't getting into those parks unless you paid. So yeah, definitely felt it in the crowd level. And then I was also at Epcot for Neil Patrick Harris this week. And so that was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Ugh, yeah.
Josh Gad was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Like it was just nutso.
Yeah.
In that park, like shoulder to shoulder. And then Jennifer from Music in the Magic or Magic in the Music was here as well. And she was telling me, hey, you really need to go back and look at harmonious and judge it from the musician's eyes. And so I stayed for the entire show and then had to fight my way out after Neil Patrick Harris.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. I should have taken that challenge on another night. But to her point, I do see the musical brilliance of that performance. On a musical level, they nailed it, right? I will give her that one as well. And so Bonnie is making a comment here. That's what we did. We did a quick 3-nighter to check out the resort decorations and do the Christmas party. And we had a great time,
That's
which
great.
is another great thing to do, right? If your annual pass is blocked out
Yeah.
or you're looking at the crazy park tickets, you could get in a little bit early to Magic Kingdom, get some of that time in there and, just say, hey, this is my holiday trip.
Mhm.
I'm not going to try to do everything that I wanted to try to do before, which is pretty wise advice anyways for the holidays. I'm just here to take in Main Street at Christmas decorations and the Christmas decorations and the music and the vibe of everything here in the Christmas season. I would tell you go over and hit Candlelight at Epcot.
Yeah.
Because that's a pretty incredible event as well.
And see the Barn Santa. The Barn Santa in Norway. Oh my gosh. What a stitch.
I'm going to have to go back in and do that one the next couple of days, Marianne.
That is, we did it 4 times in a row. We watched 4 of his shows in a row. It was that funny.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was great. We really enjoyed it.
Okay. Wow.
And I love I will tell you, I think that's my favorite Epcot festival is Festival of the Holidays. I loved all of the different holidays around the world things that they do there. So, and that's why I loved staying at Boardwalk and being able to just pop right in, 2 days in a row that we were there. We were only there 2 days, but both days walked in the back door. We were right there in the middle of the festival.
Yeah. Bonnie makes another great point is the Christmas tree stroll over at Disney Springs, which would have been another 3 hours of walking around photo taking.
Exactly. But if we go to some of those Disney Springs resorts, let's go look at the other Disney Springs resort and see its decorations because that's my home.
Okay. So
and
we'll
I think it's probably I have to say I'm disappointed. I know that they just redid the lobby and the carriage house. I get it. But the really big tree in the center was beautiful. And it's sad to see that this is what they're doing now. So
yeah, Saratoga has been diminished to a couple of pencil trees and some garland. And
yeah, that's sad. But
I mean, I even walked around all the way back by Turf Club, hoping I'd find something cool, spectacular. Nothing. I walked down by the spa, out by the pool, looking for something cool, spectacular.
Nothing.
Now, they did put a horse up in front of the Saratoga Spring sign, but it wasn't making a good photo as well. And it was okay, but it couldn't hang with the Pelicans over at Old Key West.
Oh, no. But the one thing about Saratoga Springs is if you are blocked out and you're there during the holidays and you're completely blocked out, you are a boat ride or a stroll away from the Christmas tree stroll and all of those restaurants and all of that entertainment. And, really, there's a lot to do there at Disney Springs, and being right there is very handy. So, and again, if you're blocked out of all the blocked out of all the parks, I don't want to fork out Grand Flow, Wilderness Lodge, Contemporary, Poly Points for those wonderful transportations to the parks because I'm not going to the parks. So I'm going to pay a few less points and stay at Saratoga Springs.
Yeah, maybe take a bus to the park and then hop on the monorail and come back around.
For an adventure, for an afternoon adventure. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely one way to play it as well. And so we've covered Old Key West, we've covered Jambo Boardwalk. I think we've shown all the photos that I've taken today, and we've covered all the DVC resorts.
Riviera.
So,
Riviera.
Yeah, Gina throws in Riviera, and she's snickering behind the screen again.
Okay, I'm telling
she's
you,
thrown this up on the screen
because Gina thinks it's beautiful, and I agree with her. I think it's a beautiful tree. I think I think it's bougie, understated elegance, but is it a wow?
It's nice. It's nice. I
It's
would
nice,
also tell everybody a
not
little
a
pro
wow.
tip who's tuning into this because Caleb mentioned he's staying there. They do have the Riviera lounge flies in stock, and they had them at
Oh.
about 6 p.m. today. So be nice to Caleb. See, you might get some Christmas magic coming your way.
Ooh.
Like, just saying that out there because I know we do live stream to our Riviera group, and if any of those people are in there tuning in this week, they'll get a little bonus deal of we could go grab them a lounge fly, and I could even head over there tomorrow and pick one up because I'm a registered guest, so I can get in pretty easily right now. And thank you, Caleb, for that one. Just throwing some bonuses out there to our DRR family and try to show those guys a little bit of love as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But our friend Ron, I agree. While it's bougie and it's kind of elegant, yes, it's not grand and it's not amazing. But overall, I think the whole lobby in non-Christmas time is a miss. I think they just didn't I I want the big grand lobby, and that's in a big, beautiful, expensive resort. Why in the world doesn't it have a grand lobby? So,
Yeah, Steve says he agrees, and he wishes they could do a little bit more. Can you go back to Ron's comment there for a second, Gina? I just want to point out right about here, right
yeah.
there's Ron in the Christmas suit I was talking about. He made it his
He
Facebook
loves
cover
his
photo.
Christmas suit. But
Yeah,
maybe Ron needs to go stand in the lobby like this, and he can be the decor in the Riviera lobby.
I would argue he'd plus it up.
He might plus it up.
I'm just saying. I would argue he would completely plus that up. And
Yeah, it could be more. It could be more. Just like Saratoga, it could be more.
so let me ask you guys this question then. If you were going to the parks, what would your resort choice be? Would the Christmas decoration start to sway you? Would you try to get something on the monorail? Would
Did
you
you have
try
a
to get
Polly picture? Did you have a Polly picture?
Oh, I did have a Polly picture. I thought we put that up there.
I don't
But
know that we've seen the Polly picture.
okay, I will do the Polly picture then.
Yeah.
So here is the Polynesian, and the tree is nice, but I guess they can't go 2-story up too high because of it would just be out of place because of all the connectors that are in the ceiling and things in the way there. But it was okay. The whole resort was so dark and so different colors all over coming at you with the green and the lushness, the trees and all that. It just didn't stand out and feel Christmassy to me.
Oh, interesting. Interesting.
And so I thought it was kind of meh. I was like, you're a monorail resort and you're kind of meh. And I don't know how I can fix that though.
That was exactly what we thought when we stayed at the Polynesian for
Yeah.
Christmas that many, many, many moons ago. So it was kind of like, oh, really? And then you go into Grand Flow and you go, whoa, but
Yeah, it's Poly, Bay Lake, yeah, Saratoga, Old Key West. They got nothing.
Riviera.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, it's really interesting. So,
Yeah. I
but
will
what
say
resorts do my friends want to stay at? Let's see. I will say that our experience staying at the Poly from December 27th, granted we weren't there Christmas morning, December 27th through January 3rd, on the whole was good. We stayed there though before they started really cracking down on people parking and just hanging out in the resort, which on New Year's Eve, as we all know, was the great dramatic story
Yeah.
of how it was just not a good experience, but have I could do that stay again, I would look differently at what my options were and where to stay differently. So,
Definitely. Definitely. Frederica makes an interesting comment here. So, West Coast girl here, she goes, I don't even celebrate Christmas, and these decorations are disappointing. And
yeah.
I can kind of go there, except for the gingerbread houses. Like the artistic creativity and everything it takes to pull those off are still pretty wowing to me. And hopefully you've seen Grand Cal because I know you're kind of a Disneyland person, but Grand Cal's is impressive, but Grand Flows eats it for lunch. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like
Well,
4 times the size, right? And
and if we're
yeah.
talking about trees, to be very honest, other than Wilderness Lodge, the boardwalk tree in the courtyard is very impressive, especially at night. It's terrible to take a picture of,
Mhm.
right? But it is bright and shiny and just, I mean, it screams Christmas to you when you see
Yeah.
it.
And Frederica says, yeah, Grand Cow has some wow factor. And I would tell you the other gingerbreads do as well. And even the smallest of which is the Animal Kingdom ones, but the fact that they made them into animal shape,
Love that.
yeah, that's pretty cool as well. And then Ron was saying that our last day was at Grand Floridian and 100% reaffirmed that it was the perfect choice for us, including our park visits. Yeah, well, he's a Grand Flow owner now as well, and I guess what do we say there, Marianne? Like every pig is fond of their own mud hole, so to speak.
Well,
So,
that can be true. I would say that, my own mud hole for Christmas is probably not the best choice, but, there are some, there are lots of lovely and the thing is, there are so many lovely places, and, hey, that comes around once a year, so you could go once a year and hit every resort eventually till you stayed at them all.
yeah, I mean that's hashtag life goals for somebody,
Yeah,
and I've always wanted to do Disney Christmas with the family thing.
yeah.
So this year we're going to get to hit some of it, but we're
Mhm.
not staying on property. We're going to stay at the house. But I'm good with that.
Yeah,
I'm really, really, truly good with that.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but I'll be interested to see how the family thinks of doing the Christmas decor. I think Laura had a trip down here once on a girls' weekend where she came down in early December and hit the parks and did the Christmas party and that kind of a thing. So I know she liked it. We'll have to see how it is as a family this trip as well. But
Absolutely.
I think that covered all of our questions and all of the stuff that we wanted to go over tonight. Marianne, was there anything else that we needed to cover here or any other questions people or comments people wanted to make as we do a final call here and wrap this show up?
I just don't think if you want to be in Disney on Christmas, I don't think you could go wrong. There is
Mm-mm.
magic in every single corner, and I think sometimes you bring the magic with you, right? And your family's memories are what makes the magic. So maybe your magic is baking cookies in your villa with your family. Maybe it's,
This is
snuggled up in bed looking out at fireworks at the Contemporary at Bay Lake Tower, even though the lobby is lame. Boy, the fireworks on Christmas night from your bed could be really awesome. So,
yeah. And then Ron makes a really good point here as well. Dapper Days being during the holidays made for some incredible outfits as well. Just saying. And that is, Ron, your outfits were spectacular. But here's the other reason why we figured out Dapper Days works well for it is you don't want to be wearing a suit in Florida in June. Okay.
no.
So
No.
Dapper Days here when it's cool out, awesome. And then the holiday decor to kick it up a notch. Yeah, well played, Ron, and as well. And Kathy says, Happy holidays. And I think that's kind of my thoughts and comments here for the night as well.
Yeah.
So I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight in this conversation about holidays, resort decor, and resort options during the holidays. And wanted to do a huge shout out of thanks to our sponsors over at World of DVC, including Monera Financial, DVC Resale Market, and DVC Rental Store. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Hopefully you found some discussions and comments and photos and things in today's show that'll help you go out there and plan something magical for your family during the holidays. Thanks for tuning in, and a huge shout out of thanks to all of our Patreons as well. And we will see you guys here in the Patreon B-roll credits that roll on here on YouTube. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night.
Enjoy your holidays. Good night.